You know, despite the pain that I've had to endure, I do consider myself one of the lucky ones. In BC alone, 150 women a year are diagnosed with cervical cancer. 40 women a year will die from cervical cancer. These are mothers and wives and daughters and sisters and friends. I had scheduled a doctor's appointment to get the results from my latest pap smear. What I came to learn was that an abnormal cell formation was found in my cervix and that a colposcopy was required. A colposcopy, for those of you who do not know, is a very uncomfortable procedure. And so I went for this procedure. It was determined that precancerous cells had formed in my cervix, and that because of this, a cone biopsy operation was needed. The doctors explained to me what it was, what would happen, and a portion of my cervix would be removed, hopefully removing all of the precancerous cells. So I left the doctors and I went to the lobby of the hospital and I phoned my mother and I just cried to my mom and my mom cried. I then went to the BC Cancer Agency to have the cone biopsy procedure performed. When I awoke from the cone biopsy, I was in excruciating pain. I then went home and spent the next 4 days laying in bed. I was bleeding. I was hyper aware of my cervical area. What this means is that if I were to get pregnant, there is a very large chance that my child would be born premature, which has caused me incredible anxiousness when I think of actually getting pregnant, and that's something now that I've had to come to terms with and have accepted the fact that I may never choose to get pregnant because of this fact. The HPV vaccination makes my story avoidable today. Over 10,000 women a year in BC will experience something similar to my experience. They will experience the invasive procedures, they will experience the emotional pain that couples these physical procedures. But I'm not trying to scare you into getting this vaccine. What I am urging people to do is to research, to learn the facts. They're out there, learn them, and then you will make your informed decision. I think that the biggest silver lining in this whole experience has been me feeling very passionate about the HPV vaccine and being able to give a voice and approach people like my sister-in-law, or I have a friend whose daughter is entering grade 6 next year. I believe that once you learn all of the facts, you will then decide to do the right thing and vaccinate either yourself or your child.